Guys, it's the Shy Simmer here, and today we're going to be building a $5,000 house. With this $5,000 house, I'm not using, debug items or anything like that. It's just straight up items that you can buy for $5,000. And I don't think it actually turned out that bad. So this was the lot that I am building it on. I'm just clearing it off, that way I can build. And we're going to start building up the house. So it does end up being a tiny home. There's not a whole lot you can do for $5,000. So you can see I'm just trying to figure out the floor plan, tweaking it a little bit. That 3x1 space is going to be the bathroom, and then off to the side, I think I was hoping for the bedroom, and then in the center is going to be the living space. While I figure out the floor plan, I just wanted to take this minute to apologize for this latest, upload. It didn't end up going up. I was having some major issues with my game. For some reason, it was trying to uninstall and reinstall, and I was having a problem with all the mod packs. It really ended up being an issue for me. I was getting quite frustrated with it. But we're back, so, it's alright. We're back to our channel. So I'm putting in the counters and kind of figuring out a little bit of the kitchen space. You can see I put a mini fridge and a microwave. I was hoping to at least have that, but I believe I do end up taking out the microwave. It was just too much. You don't really realize how little $5,000 is in The Sims until you start building. Like, if you were to look right now, I only have, about $1,200? So, yeah, that does kind of cause a little bit of an issue with this build. And I did end up having to finagle the shape of the house a lot to make sure that everything would fit. And, we'd still have a decent sized house that hopefully still takes care of all of our Sims needs. You can see I'm trying to figure out how the living room's going to go and back onto the kitchen. I had to, take everything out and buy the absolute cheapest counters we could. So I got the $100 used ones, tried to change it to a shade that at least somewhat worked in our kitchen. The only palette that I can really find that works on these counters is the whitish cream one. And I ended up deciding to do a little island because it works for cooking space, tabletop. If you get a laptop, it could be a little desk. There's a lot of more things that you can do with an island than you can do with like a table in The Sims. And especially since we have such a small space, I wanted to make sure that it was, well versatile for things that I was putting in there. Lighting this house is also kind of a thing that went a little bit neglected. I use these $50 lights, just to light up the space, but you don't realize how much lights cost until you only have 5,000 simoleons to try to build with. It's not a lot at all, and lights can be very expensive in this game, unfortunately. So I was trying to find any kind of TV that I could for them to have some fun. The cheapest one was the little penguin one, so I just kind of sized it up. And kind of painting some walls, I go with the cheapest of the cheap that I can find. So, tile, painting. And on this house, I do wish I had a little bit more money to do a tiny bit of landscaping. The lot is super empty. But, $5,000, you can only do what you can do. I've seen some people where they use the debug items because they're free. And I mean, that makes sense, but I want to make a $5,000 simoleon house that is $5,000. You don't have to worry about the landscaping being debug or anything like that. I wanted just actual from the game items. And I was just going for, a little tiny cottage, so I picked this wooden siding. It's not exactly the prettiest, but I thought it would work. It's not exactly the prettiest build in my life, so it was pretty cheap. The windows that I pick are pretty cheap. They're from Seasons, and I believe that paint is too. I believe that they're both from Seasons, so at least they kind of go together. And I can only imagine sitting in this living room watching this giant penguin TV. Like, who cares if you have a tree outside or literally anything outside if you have a giant penguin TV in your living room? I don't know about you, but I think I'd be pretty happy. I mean, I wish I could have given them a better or bigger TV, but if you look right now, I only have $121, and you can't buy much at all with $121 in this game. I mean, you can't much in real life either, but you definitely can't in The Sims. So, they're kind of stuck with their penguin TV, but I think that'll be just alright for them. I don't know why I keep saying them. It is only a house for one Sim. It's that Sim that you can see right in front. But who knows? Maybe she'll get a job and expand a little bit, or maybe get a TV that's not a giant penguin TV. But for right now, I think it fits her needs. We have the living room, we have the little island, the bedroom, and I figured out that I had to replace that bed. I got like a mediocre bed, and it was too much. But we have the kitchen, the sink, the island, TV, couch, little tiny bathroom, a little bedroom. It's better than nothing. And I'm looking for just the last couple items to at least try to decorate the space. And this is where I had to give up my microwave because, I realized that I needed flooring. For some reason, I'm looking at plants and rugs before I even have a floor down. I tend to have that problem a lot with budget builds. I just put the walls up and I put the stuff I want in each space, and then I forget to paint the walls, I forget to paint the floors, I forget to paint the outside, and I'm out of money, and it's very upsetting. But I do end up starting to pick the floors. I just picked like a really simple wood flooring for each. They were pretty cheap, and then I picked the stone flooring in the bottom for the bathroom. And I do try to do a tiny bit of landscaping. By landscaping, I pretty much just mean giving it a path to the house. But we have $91 left, and there's not a whole lot you can do with $91, so I decided to give them, some books, and that's about all we could do. And then I was able to pick the $1 pine trees. I'm not sure how well they fit in, like, the desert, but they're there if you wanted to try. And at this point, I realized that $5,000 was not enough money to be bougie enough for 2 sinks. So I took away the bathroom sink and the countertop with the sink, because I figured out that one of these freestanding sinks is cheaper than having a counter and a sink on it. So I was able to get, 1 or 2 plants, a little something, so it's not so barren. Honestly, landscaping is not something that I care too much about when it comes to, filling your basic needs. Obviously, landscaping is not that important, but I feel like it helps just a little bit. The lots in Sims look so barren if you don't do anything with them. At least most of them do. But we were also in this deserty area, so a lot of the trees don't really fit, and it kind of looks a little awkward, but it's alright. But, we can take a couple of the free options you have to accessorize the outside of your house, like the mailboxes, or the trim paint, or, a couple of the very few free things that we can do. But I know that I did end up making sure there was a mailbox. I made sure there was a trash can in this house. I am usually terrible at that. That's one of the most neglected items, I think, in all of my Sim households. And then I play them, and there's trash everywhere, and I'm wondering, what's the problem? But this one has a trash can, so, you won't have any problems with it. So, at this point, here is our finished house. It's currently raining, and the Sim that we built this house for went in already, so I guess she's excited. So you walk in, and there's the lovely Penguin TV. See, she's just making herself right at home with it. And the couch, the little bar stools, our little tree, the DIY sink I felt like kind of fit, the mini fridge, the books, our little tiny bathroom. So there's the toilet, and there's the university shower. I love that shower. It makes life so much easier in tiny houses. And there's the bed. This house isn't that much to write home about, but it was $5,000. If I got this house in real life for $5,000, I would be pretty happy. I don't know about you, but I'd be pretty happy. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this build. Once again, I am sorry for missing that last update. Hopefully Sims will stop cracking out on me. That would be awesome. I'm having some problems with it with all the updates and packs that are coming out, but hopefully we'll pull through it all together. And with that being said, please make sure you're commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that other good stuff. It really does help out the channel, and it really lets me know what you guys want to see. Alright, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.